Welcome to the podcast. I am thrilled to share with you the lovely Liz Wilcox, also known as the Fresh Princess of Email. Today, we're going to talk about email marketing and how it builds your online business. We talk about welcome sequences, nurturing your subscribers, and a lot more. So, I am really excited and happy to bring this interview to you today. She also shares the big bold step about getting on the show Survivor. And if you know that show, it is not your standard reality show. And she actually got to the very second to last day on the show. So that's pretty exciting. And I love to hear what she learned from that, from taking those big bold steps and actually getting on the show and lasting that long. It's amazing. So I can't wait to share her with you. I know you're going to love her and get ready to learn because this is about building your online business and focusing on the things that we need to do. So, welcome back to the podcast, Big Steps, Bold Stories. I am thrilled to have the Liz Wilcox. You can find her on Instagram under that handle on the show today to talk about online business and making money with your email and growing your email lists and your subscribers and relationship with your subscribers too, which is wonderful. So, thank you for being here, Liz. And yeah.
Yeah, of course. I'm so excited to chat today.
Awesome. So tell me about before we get into the online business stuff, I would love to find out from you because you were on Survivor. And so that was a really big thing in your life. I wanted to find out what gave you the courage to actually apply to be on the show?
Yeah, so if you're not familiar, Survivor is like the original reality competition show. So it's where 18 people, they drop you off in the jungle and you vote each other out. And at the end, whoever's standing wins $1 million. So the the thing that really, well, number one, I've always wanted to be on the show. I'm the type of person that if I want something, I just go for it. But, I'm a business owner. I'm a mom. Like, who has time to walk away from those two things, right? And it really wasn't until my daughter really kind of dared me to be on the show. I'd been talking about it. We would watch together all the time. And, every time Jeff, the host, came on and said, apply now, is this your dream? I would say, I think I could do really well on that show. I think I would win. And my daughter, eventually, I guess she got sick of it and she said, Mom, are you going to talk about it or are you going to do it? And so, I'm not going to be dared by no 7-year-old. So I ended up applying the very next day. I got an email within a few minutes of applying, and I was on the phone with the casting director that same day.
Wow, that happened fast. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was going to say, sometimes it's like that, like, especially in business, sometimes you have an idea and you just know with your being, right, that this is the right next step for you. And that was the same with Survivor. Yeah, my daughter dared me, but, back to Vera's question about like what gave me the confidence or courage. I just always knew that if I applied, I would get on that show. Not everyone is meant for Survivor. It's a very specific, even like other reality TV stars that I've met are like, oh, I would never apply for that show. It's too hard. It's a very rare breed, I feel. And so, it's the same as in business when you've created this offer. That's amazing. You just have to give yourself permission, or maybe your kid can dare you to go for it.
So cool. So, was it a dream come true? Like, did it really feel like something that has been fulfilled now in your life?
Yeah. So that's such a complicated question. It was so good and so terrible all at the same time. It definitely was a dream come true and also a bit of a nightmare. And I guess, that's the same with everything though. Like, be careful what you wish for, right? And it's so important to really think through the offers that we want and, the way we want to show up in our business and what we create, because you might get what you wish for. And with Survivor, yeah, Amazing. Spoiler alert, I did not win. I came 1 day short of winning. So I lasted 25 out of 26 days. I was the
Amazing.
last person eliminated from the competition. Ah! And I with with the show, like being on Survivor, like playing Survivor, that was a dream come true. That was awesome. And I came so close. I can't be anything but proud. But being on Survivor is much different. You don't have control over, the edit, so to speak. You don't have control over what they show and what they don't show.
Mhm.
And that was something, with the public was very, I don't know, quite cruel. Even now, and the show's been wrapped for a very long time, I can't get on my phone without receiving some sort of hate mail or something like that. But it's made me incredibly resilient, and honestly, it's made me really double down on who I am.
Mm.
Yeah, that's me, and sure, I said that, but it was edited. But also, yeah, it actually, that was me. I did say that, and I have to own that. And it's the same in your business, really, again, thinking through like, do I want to start a podcast? Do I want to, do this offer? What is the good and the bad with it? And then just owning it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did post that. Yeah, I did. Speaking of email, we get this a lot with email marketing, right? Like you send out an email and people unsubscribe, and it feels like, oh my gosh, what did I say? I said the wrong thing. Well,
Yes.
you know what? You did the best and you sent the best email you could in that moment. And them unsubscribing, just like the people that send me, hate mail, that's more of a reflection of them. They're not ready for your offer. They just didn't, well, I wasn't their favorite player. No
Yeah.
big deal, right? Let's say people sign up for my email list. They want to learn about email. Then I send them stuff about email. A few weeks later, they realize, I just don't have the time for this. They unsubscribe. That has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with them.
Yeah.
So, you
I
know.
always say, I guess we weren't meant to be friends. I just let it go.
Right.
Let them go find
Right.
new friends.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. So what was the best part of being on the show?
The best part of being on the show was being on the show. Oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure it's less than 700 people in the entire world out of, 8, 9 billion, however many of us there are out there have ever been on that show, have been chosen. And it wasn't like I just decided to be on Survivor and I was on Survivor. I had to apply. There was a very long casting process. And for me to be chosen, that feels really, really remarkable. I went out there, I played my heart out. I lost 14% of my body weight in 25
Wow.
days.
Wow.
I made it almost as far as you can make it.
Mhm.
And that is something to celebrate. I did the thing people thought I couldn't do. Uh, and that just feels amazing.
So what did you learn about yourself in the process of doing that?
I love this question. The biggest thing I learned about myself was that I deserve as much grace as I give. Especially, yeah, especially I feel like, as women, we're taught like, oh, to give the benefit of the doubt. Oh, he didn't mean what he said. Oh, the boy on the playground, he's being mean to you because he likes you. Don't hate him. Right? We give a lot of grace in our lives, right? And we're also really hard on ourselves. I was really hard on myself. I still am. You don't get this far, letting yourself off the hook. I'm an incredibly disciplined person. Um, and out there, you can Google me and you'll see I had an epic meltdown on the show. We'll call it a hissy fit. I'll own it. I was starving in the jungle with strangers, and I hadn't had toilet paper or a blanket or soap in weeks. And I had a little bit, well, not a little, I had a huge, meltdown, emotional breakdown.
Mhm.
And I thought in a game for $1 million, that could have been an excuse to vote me out. That could have been,
Mhm.
she's lost it, she's impossible, let's get her out. But instead, everyone gave me grace. You know, Liz, you really are hungry. You're allergic to the thing that we're eating. I'm allergic to coconuts, y'all. And
Right.
that was the main source of food. So
Mhm.
literally had 0 calories in over 72 hours.
Wow.
And, they gave me grace. They said, yeah, Liz, you actually are that hungry. And you know what? We still like you. You're still hilarious. You had every right to be angry and you moved on quickly and we love you.
Mhm.
And that showed me that as much as I give grace, I deserve and I can receive grace in return. And that's been a huge, huge lesson for me.
That's so, yeah, you could write a whole thing just on that, on grace. I love that you shared that. And part of that meltdown that you had, wasn't that based around your daughter? Like it was more to it than people realize because it was food specific to a tradition that you had with your daughter that you would go once a week to Applebee's. Maybe you want to.
Yeah, so it was an Applebee's reward, which sounds so silly, but it was a reward that I didn't get. And I think what led to the meltdown, I mean, it's so nuanced, but
Mhm.
really that day I had given myself hope that I was going to eat, hope that this was going to be the thing to keep me going, hope that this was going to be the thing to reconnect me with my daughter who I hadn't seen or spoken to in over 4 weeks.
Mhm.
And so I allowed myself to have that hope, and then my hopes were dashed. I didn't win the reward, nor was I chosen to go on the reward. And
Mhm.
it's a lot like that in business when we do the webinar or, we run the challenge and we get our hopes up. We see, oh, well, Liz Wilcox tells me I can make, this much money. So and so made this much on their webinar. Such and such did these kind of numbers. And we allow ourselves a lot of hope there. And if our hopes are dashed, if it doesn't turn out the way we expected, then it can be really devastating. And so I want to say, like, if you feel that way, whether it's in your personal life or your business life, like an example I just gave, let yourself have the hissy fit.
Yeah.
Dang it, I really worked really hard and I came this freaking close and I didn't get it. So let yourself move through those emotions. Don't try to, oh, well, better luck next time. Because
Mhm.
I found that, expressing my anger in the moment, I got it out very quickly. And then within 5 minutes, I was like, oh, whew, I feel better. Sorry about that, folks. Like,
Mm.
back to your
Yeah.
regularly scheduled program. So let yourself, when you have that disappointment, when you get your hopes up and then, the thing doesn't happen, let yourself feel like crap for a day or two. It's so much easier to move on if you let yourself process that emotion while it's happening.
Mhm. So let's switch gears and talk about online business. You are on your Instagram, it says Fresh Princess of Email. I love that. I love that you bring so much of your personality and joy of your heart inside your membership, and I'll let you talk on that. But I found you a couple of years ago and I joined your membership and I was like, oh, I really like this is so awesome because you just incorporate so much of yourself into it and then also give us the tools to be able to do that as well. So tell me about your online business. I'd love to hear and share that.
Yeah, so that feeling when you watch or listen to a podcast and there's some lady ranting about email marketing, right? For every dollar you spend with email marketing, you can get $40 in return. Now go, 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 go. And you open up ConvertKit or maybe Active Campaign or something, and then you promptly feel kind of dumb. You're not really sure what to say. Well, again, I'm Liz Wilcox and I help eliminate that problem. My entire business is built around giving you sort of fresh takes, fresh, tips and mindset all around email marketing so that you can actually, with confidence, hit send on your emails and make money.
Amazing. Yeah, email marketing. I always said like back in the day, I had retail stores and I did eBay, and eBay would only allow you to like they would shut down your account if you had less than like 97% positive feedback. And I was like, why does this company have so much power over me? I don't like this. And then when I discovered email marketing, it's like, wait a second, that's like my goodwill of my portion of my business. And that's those are my subscribers, but those are also my customers. And I get to hold that connection with them, no one else.
Oh my gosh, I love that Vera just brought
Yeah.
that up.
Oh,
Listen, if you have an Etsy shop or if you're, selling in the DMs on Instagram and you're not growing your email list, you're really leaving yourself vulnerable. And this isn't like scare tactics. It's just the truth.
yeah.
Like Vera just said, like if you got too many bad reviews, eBay's kicking you out of there. And then what? If that's how you feed your family, you're kind of, raise your hand if you were alive in 2022 and you remember a billionaire bought a social media platform, right?
Mhm.
And then he changed the game and they lost
Right.
half of their users
Yeah.
and all of their advertising dollars, right? If you built your audience over there, suddenly they're gone. And
Yes.
so with email, the number one reason to grow your email list is like Vera said, you own it, right? You can use Active Campaign today and decide to use Flowdesk tomorrow, right? You own those email addresses. So it's really, really important.
So, what do you think people get wrong about email marketing today?
I'm pausing here on purpose.
Mhm.
Y'all, we complicate it, don't we? We think it has to be a certain way. It has to be all storytelling or it has to be all sales. It has to look perfect. It, must, 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 must. It should. I'm a firm believer like we shouldn't should on ourselves, right? Ew, gross. And with email, it can be really simple. I
Mhm.
like to break email down into just three components. Number one, have a welcome sequence, something that says, hey, you signed up for this list. This is what's going to happen from here on out. This is who I am. This is where we're going together. This is what I sell. And this is, when I'm going to email you. Really simple. The second part of email marketing is those newsletters, those emails you send about once a week or so that keep people posted. This is what I'm working on. This is what I want to share. Hey, I saw this on Facebook and thought of you. Hey, I have a new podcast episode. Hey, we're running a flash sale. Those timely newsletters, right? And then the third component are those sales emails, right? Those are the ones we kind of cringe at, we don't like, but that is it's called marketing, right? Email marketing.
Yes.
And so having sales in your emails, whether it's a sales sequence that, you're launching something for Black Friday and you're just selling emails during Black Friday or sending sales emails during Black Friday, right? Or it's, in your newsletter, P.S. I just talked about newsletters. I have this 20-minute newsletter thing. Buy it here, right? Or it's even in your welcome sequence of, hey, you're on my email list. Here's what I have to offer A, B, and C, right? So
Mhm.
making sure, again, you've got that welcome sequence, you send out newsletters, and then at the end of the day, you're sprinkling in sales. So you actually, put the marketing in email marketing.
Mhm. I'm glad that you mentioned the welcome sequence because I feel like that's, something that a lot of people don't do. And maybe you can explain to us what a welcome sequence is and why it's important.
Yeah. So when I sign up for your email list, you should be sending me a sequence of emails that tell people or tell me, who you are, how frequently you're going to email me, maybe your offers. Share a little bit of personality in there. Share the vision. Hey, you joined my email list. This is where we're going to go together, right? And
Mhm.
maybe even share some of your values. Hey, this is the way I do business, right? This is what we value with me. If I was sending it to you, I say around here, we value simplicity. I'm not going to teach you to build a funnel, segment your list. We're going to, start emails and see what happens, right?
Mhm.
And so that welcome sequence are those first few emails that you send out as an automation. You're not sending these out live, every time someone emails you. It's an automation with your email service provider, aka ConvertKit or something like that, that automatically, when I sign up, sends that series of emails out.
Mhm. And so a lot of people listening want to know how to make money with email marketing. And I think if they just hit rewind and start from the beginning, they can just, get a lot of the pieces already that you've shared. But what is your advice for people who want to make this their career and go, okay, I need to do this. I want to make money with email marketing. How do I go about it? Because there's a gazillion ways to make money online. Email marketing is very specific to draw attention to your products and your services. So what
Yeah.
just
Well, we already talked about making sure you sprinkle in the sales, right? Making sure in your welcome sequence, hey, these are my offers, right? Making sure in your newsletter, you write a newsletter and then say, oh, by the way, I have a product on this topic I just shared. And then making sure you have launches, right? Something like if you're, just listening to the podcast, you can't see me, but behind me is an entire year calendar and I have all my launches planned out. So I know when I'm sending sales emails. It
Mhm.
is your job and your responsibility to know when you're sending emails. It's never going to feel right. It's not, well, when I'm more comfortable, I'll send a sales email. No, ma'am. Put it on the calendar. Well, I know in March I'm having a birthday sale. Oh, I'm doing a Christmas in July thing. Oh, I'm doing Black Friday and then a last minute, end of the year sale. Okay, I've got those bases covered.
Mhm.
So, it's not going to just happen. You have to schedule it. But really, how to make money with email, those are some tactics. But here's the real deal. You have to be consistent. You cannot grow your email list 3 years ago, suddenly listen to this podcast and
Mhm.
start emailing those 100 people on your list and launch something because Liz said you can make money on Black Friday.
Right.
I love you. I say it with love. It's not going to work. Maybe you make a sale or two. You have to be consistent. You have to stay top of mind. And this isn't email every day, and it's not even email every week. You can build up to weekly. That's a good rule of thumb. But if you're not there yet, you're not there yet. And who am I to judge? I had a hissy fit on national TV. We already discussed that. But be consistent. If
Mhm.
you say in your welcome sequence, this is the easiest way to start being consistent. Put in your welcome sequence. I'm going to email you on the first of every month. And guess what? When you email on the first of every month, you're fulfilling a promise. You're becoming more trustworthy. Okay. That's going to help you sell. Staying consistent is not about putting more work on you. And it's not about, oh, I don't want to bother them. It's about fulfilling a promise, right? It's
Mhm.
about making yourself more trustworthy. What person doesn't like someone who's consistent, right? If you're dating someone or you have a kid, and you're the parent and the parent is inconsistent. Sometimes we go to bed at 7. Sometimes we go to bed at 9. Other times mom's trying to put me to bed at 5 o'clock. I'm going to be one ticked off kid, right? So be consistent in your sending, whether that's once a month, you're building up or whatever. That's the only way, I say it with love, it's the only way you're going to make money with email. Unless you had a million people on your email list and you are a celebrity and people just, they're just begging to hear from you and taking whatever scraps they're going to get. You have to be consistent with your email marketing. You have to show up. You have to show that you're trustworthy, that you are invested in your customer, and then they will invest into you.
Amazing. Like such great advice and wisdom. So I thank you for that. Um, for anyone that's listening who wants to make their next bold step, what advice would you give them? What would you say?
On the same vein, let's just go with it. Dare to be consistent, my friend.
Yeah.
Bold steps are not just jumping into something.
Yeah.
You have to keep going, right? Bringing it back to Survivor, I wouldn't have made it 25 days if
Mhm.
I wasn't consistent in who I was showing up as, with my vision, with my values, right? I wouldn't be making money with email if I wasn't staying consistent. You know, it's we like to think that bravery is like, staking your claim and saying, yep, I'm going to do it.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's not the brave part. The
Yeah.
brave part is actually doing it, is showing up every single day, being consistent with your own promises to yourself. If email marketing is your next right step, right? Then do the brave thing and actually get it done. Put in your welcome sequence. Like I said, I'm going to email you every Tuesday on the 1st and the 15th, whatever. And then show up, put it on your calendar. Like I said, a lot
Yeah.
of themes here.
Yes.
And, doing the brave thing is showing up consistently, for your customers, for yourself, and for your own promises. Don't break your own promise. Be consistent.
Wonderful. Yeah. I feel like a lot of like there's a lot of little steps that need to happen before you can make the big steps, but we can make big steps. But yeah, I love how you talk about consistency and showing up for yourself, because when you show up for yourself, you show up for others. Thank you so much for being here. I have one little survivor story of my own. I thought I would, and
Great.
I thought you would might find it fun to hear. So when Survivor first started, so my oldest daughter is turning 32 this month. And when Survivor started, my mom, grandma would come over and we would pop popcorn and we would all sit around. The kids would be allowed to stay up and watch Survivor. So it's just, it's been part of our lives for so long. And I love that you had the boldness and the courage to step into do something that's way out of working from home.
I love that story so much. Thank you for sharing that, Vera. So, one thing I didn't expect out of my survivor experience was the stories like she just told and being a part of someone's joy. Oh,
Yes.
this is what I do with my family. It's a ritual. We pop popcorn, the kids stay up late. It's the same in my house. My daughter and I have survivor sleepovers. She gets to lay in bed with me and watch it and stay up late, right? And to be a part of that joy is something so remarkable and such a blessing for me. And it's the same, if I can bring it back, it's the same in
Yes.
our business.
Yes.
When we dare to make the brave, bold, big step of being consistent,
Mhm.
showing up for our people over and over and over again, you are going to have stories the same way Vera just told me that story about Survivor. If it wasn't for your emails and you showing up in my inbox every week, I wouldn't have taken my next right step. I couldn't have done XYZ. Maybe you're a fitness coach. I never would have gotten off the couch and done my first 5K. I have people telling me, Liz, if it wasn't for your emails, I'd still be just making dances on TikTok and getting nowhere, right? But I got this amazing message from someone and they actually booked a $5,000 package, all from, just sending emails every week. And
Mhm.
so I love that you shared that story. It's so awesome to be a part of people's joy
Mhm.
and in our business, being consistent, showing up, being brave enough to be ourselves and sell our thing.
Yes.
You're going to have stories just like that too, where people thank you for being a part of, the betterment of their life.
Yeah, I love it. I love the fact that we can help other people with what gifts are inside of our hearts. So I just appreciate you so much. And I thank you for being here and sharing such wonderful wisdom with everybody. If you want to check out Liz, she's at lizwilcox.com. And you can check out her marketing, email marketing membership over at bigstepsboldstories.com/Liz. And I'll put the links in the notes for you. So thanks so much, Liz. I really appreciate you being here today.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear about more bigger, bolder steps. This is
Okay.
exciting. Talk to you all soon.
Thank you.